Henry Burris TV is brought to you by Hockey Central Sports Memorabilia, Sylvan Lake, and Supreme Menswear, simply the best. Let's talk about the matchup this weekend in the CFL. The Edmonton Eskimos, without Messam, go into BC to take on perhaps the hottest team in the CFL right now. The easiest trip to the Grey Cup. Well, you don't even have to get out of your couch.
Yeah.
Really, the BC Lions at home this week, and eventually they want to be at home next week. What are your thoughts on that series?
Well, I tell you, BC, they're a juggernaut right now. I mean, these guys are focused, and I think just some news that actually just came out of BC. Their assistant equipment manager has a couple of twins, lost one of his sons actually in a car accident this past weekend, and so that team's really rallying around that. So now they have another rallying cry to go along with the emotional season they've had from all the I guess the valley that they came from, being 1-6 and now being the hottest team in the CFL, especially with all the veteran leadership they have. These guys are focused. I mean, Wally, he's done a great job of keeping his team in tune this week. He's even going to have the team stay in the hotel on Saturday night, just kind of getting everybody away from family, getting them focused. Took the same approach back in 2004 when we played against them when I was in Saskatchewan in the West Final that year, but he's making sure he keeps his guys focused. I mean, Edmonton's coming into the game beat up, losing Messam. They're going to need some guys to step up at running back. Hugh Charles, who came over from Saskatchewan, he's going to get the call. So he's not as big and physical as Jerome Messam, but they're going to need him to pound off yards. But his speed could be effective on that turf because it's a fast surface there at BC Place. And they're going to really need to mix things up, especially with the likes of Khalif Mitchell, Big Hunt on the inside. I mean, these two guys are two of the CFL All-Stars that were inside. And then, of course, right behind them, you got the man, Elamimian. He's flying around looking to take somebody's head off. And that defense, they're playing great football. But one thing that BC has done like no other team this year, they've won the battle in the trenches. And to me, that's what's going to be the difference and allow them to beat Edmonton.
Especially that offensive line, kind of leaky. It's had some injuries this year. How Ricky Ray survives week to week sometimes, but they've got one of the best receiving corps going too. So that'll be a nice matchup against that secondary. So who do you pick?
Well, I'm going BC. I just think number one at home. I think they're with the veteran leadership. I don't think the week off will affect them. Of course, they'll have to come out and establish themselves early, and I think that gives Edmonton an upper hand if they can come out and get some things going early. But you know what? I always say this: in a game of this magnitude, the most important part of the game is the first 5 minutes, and in the second half, the first 5 minutes. To me, the first 5 minutes of each half are the most important. Whoever's able to establish momentum, will give them the best chance to possibly be successful. But watch out, because that first 5 minutes is going to be all about the BC Lions coming out of the gate. All the smoke screen's going to be going crazy. It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be loud. And trust me, it's going to be rocking out there.
I always wanted to see a team get the ball in the second half. If you're trailing, you can close the gap. But if you're in front, you can pull away from them. So that's an interesting point. You said that. What about the Hamilton Ticats and the Winnipeg Blue Bomber game in cold Winnipeg? Who'd you like in that one?
This game's going to be interesting. I think, to me, this is the most interesting game of the weekend, because there's a lot of dynamics going on in this game, because to me, still, it's all about which Hamilton team is going to show up. Is it going to be the team that went in and beat Montreal last week, beat Montreal 2 other times handily, the team that gave us fits in Moncton, or is it going to be the team also that beat BC and ended their big winning streak they had going during the regular season, or is it going to be the other Hamilton Tiger Cats, the team that looks so great but also lost the same amount of games they won during the regular season? So which team will show up? I think they're coming off a big win against Montreal, and they're going to come into Swaggerville. That defense is going to be flying around, making a lot of plays, hitting Kevin Glenn a lot. If he can stay healthy, it gives Hamilton a chance to be successful. However, to me, the deciding factor is who's going to be under center for Winnipeg, and if it's Buck Pierce, they're going to go or they're going to stay at home, depending on how that guy plays. Because if he's able to make some plays by getting the ball to his great receiving core that he has, and Terrence Edwards and a number of different guys, they're going to be able to make a lot of big plays. But if not, Hamilton's going to take the running game away. They're going to need to pass the ball effectively, and to me, that's going to be the deciding factor.
Did you hear this? Anybody from TSN watching this? Hire this guy and get rid of Milt Stiegel. Seriously. Yeah, I'd love to see that.